Growth hack your brand and then destroy anything that moves.
You need to grind hustle your platform manifest.
It's all about entropy, elegance, and finance. Blockchain.
Invest in real estate every day.
Invest in meal estate every morning.
You need to mind hack the mind shackles that are grabbing your mind. Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a day. Eat the man who just fished and you'll eat for a lifetime.
Spartans!
Business Money Hacks.
Hello everyone, welcome to Business Money Hacks. My name is Dustin Taylor Hahn.
And I'm Bridge Stewart, and today we have a very interesting episode. We're going to be talking about sort of how to read a situation and how to sort of analyze data and how to look at different, variables in something and think about how can you predict the future by analyzing, by reading what's happening in front of you.
I got books. I got hundreds of books. I got thousands of books stored in Bridge's garage, and I haven't read one of them. And why? Because I'm not about reading words in the book. I'm about reading between the lines. That's the idea.
I tell many people that, Moby Dick, great book. And people will often be like, well, oh yeah, what's your favorite part of Moby Dick? And I'm like, I don't know. I was reading between the lines the entire time. I'm not reading these words, these sentences. I'm deep in between those lines, so I have no idea what happened. I think it involves a whale or something.
Read between the lines, read between the pages. These authors sometimes, they'll write a book. They'll leave invisible pages in the book made of different type of parchment. And that's where the real education comes through.
Yeah, it's so crucial to read between the lines in any situation. Oftentimes when people are talking to me, I'll read between their words, sort of, and then they'll ask, hey, what do you think of this situation? It's like, look, I don't know what you just said for the last 5 minutes. I've been reading between your words. Usually they become a little confused when I say that, but, that's the price you pay to read between the words.
I sort of take a bit of a different tactic. Someone will be explaining something to me, and I'll say, what's that? What? What did you mean by that? Because I'm trying to read between their lines. What are they saying? They'll say, like, sir, would you like your coffee with creamer? I was like, what? What? Excuse me? What is that supposed to mean?
I think that helps a lot in any sort of conversation, any sort of communication, just screaming at people, what are you saying to me? But yeah, it's so important, and reading between the lines, it helps with being able to predict things. And especially with business, predicting possible investment ventures, the market, exactly. For example, some of my financial advisors were like, hey, man, you got to hop on this Amazon. You got to invest in Amazon. This is going to be big. I'm like, Amazon? That's a jungle. They're like, no. It's like a tech company. I'm like, look, you're confusing me already. I don't know what you're talking about. So I didn't invest in Amazon. And I think that was a great decision.
Well, it burned down a few years later, so that was a good decision.
Yeah. I don't know why people are investing in this Amazon. From what I gather, it's in a lot of trouble.
I do want to tell sort of an anecdote. A few years ago, I was on the street, and there was a street performer. He was doing the Find the Queen of Hearts, Find the Queen. And one after another, people would come over to him and say, they couldn't find the Queen of Hearts. And I was just observing it. I wasn't playing. And then an old man walked up with his slick black hair. And I got to tell you, Bridge, every single time he played that game, he found that queen. And that man right now, I hired him immediately. He's been my financial advisor for about 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hired this man off the street who is playing with cards as your financial advisor. That's bold.
Yeah. He's 93. 93 years old. Sharp as a tack. His name's Herbert. And he's I keep him around just in case I need to invest in something. I want to see where the stocks are going. Is it going to be a bull market, a bear market? Herbert. Very good. Very good.
I think this is a great transition into our guest, our very special guest today. She is a health astrologer. And this segues very good into being able to predict things. Astrology, from what I gather, is very predictive of things. Her name is Heather Molly. Heather Molly, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. First of all, I have to apologize if it's a little bit iffy on my end. It's because I'm near the top of the Himalayas. I've been meditating now for about off and on for a month, silent treatment. So this is the first time I'm actually speaking.
We're very flattered that the podcast...
My throat is a little scratchy, so I've been trying to quench it with this new beverage that I found in many stores. It's called White Claw. Have you heard of it?
White Claw. They're selling White Claw in the Himalayas.
It is, yeah, it's apparently big in the holistic market. To be honest, it's been great. I've been a little bit tired. I've thrown up a few times. But I really do think that the White Claw diet is good for me.
You find that it's helping you
It is.
With your silent treatment.
I trust anything that comes from a shaman. He told me White Claw is the new thing, and I fully trust in him. My career began off the streets, so I understand your friend Herbert. I was plucked from the garden of the concrete garden, so I totally get your trust in Herbert.
So you're pretty much just hanging out in the Himalayas, not saying anything, and drinking White Claw.
Yeah.
I would have taken advice from you immediately if I heard your story. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really trying to study the movement of the planets and the stars and really trying to connect with that in accordance to the human body. And that's really where my profession lies, is within the sky.
So you're a health astronomer.
It's
is that right?
astrologer. People really tend to get those two confused. Astrologer is a lot more of the ancient studies. I feel like astronomers are a lot more new agey. They rely on a lot of evidence in direct accordance with observing, and we all know that humans are terrible, terrible observers. So I do not convene with astronomers.
Especially when you're sleeping. I can't even see a thing.
I agree. These astronomers just running around looking up at the sky. I mean, it's just a bunch of dots in the sky, in the night sky. I mean, I don't know what they're looking at. I mean, it's just a bunch of stars. Who cares? But astrology, I mean, that seems like there's depth, there's weight to it. I respect that.
Astrologers are really reading between the lines, like you were saying, whereas astronomers are looking at the pinpoint planets, and really it's the information within.
I agree. I'm not going to listen to some dumb smart man telling me all about the planets are 1/5 of the size of the world. I mean, who wants to listen to that? It's nails on a chalkboard.
It's obnoxious. I can't stand to listen.
There's the meteor is heading to Earth. Everyone, scram or run. All they want to do is tell us that an asteroid is going to blow up your planet.
Yeah, it's baloney. I mean, who has ever even seen a meteor? I mean, I've never met anybody that's seen one, so it's not real. But Heather, I'm really curious. How did you get into this profession of health astrology?
Well, like I said, I started out on the streets, and I was picked up by a street vendor. Actually, he was selling what they call street dogs in Los Angeles, and he saw me reading people. At that time I was a novice, so I was about 50 to 60% correct on what I was reading from their family lives and what their ailments were, and he really saw potential in me, and he said, "Hey,
this Frankfurter man." A man selling Frankfurters.
Yeah, Frankfurt. I'm sorry, I'm from Los Angeles. We call them street dogs, Dodger dogs. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, it's a long tube of meat.
Yeah, this is about a medium-sized tube of meat. That's
The
normally
meat
what I
tubes.
go for.
I call them meat bread snacks.
So this man found you on the street. You were reading people, I assume, just telling them who they are in their past
Normally I
lives.
would
or
grab
what?
them
What's the...
and convince them to listen to me. And they would normally. That's really how I started, is just by reading the people that I grabbed from the streets of Hollywood and Vine. And it's really been eye-opening and brought me to the Himalayas on the silent treatment.
So how exactly does astrology mix with diet, with eating? Like, what is the connection between those two things?
As you might know, I don't know if your audience knows, zodiac signs are actually paired with a planet, and those govern, certain parts of your body. Like, for example, Leo and Aries, they govern the head. Then we have Uranus. So if there's an ailment, you know where to look in the stars in order to fix your ailments, because there's certain practices that are directly linked.
So I'm a Taurus, right? So you would recognize that immediately on the street, and you would grab me by the throat.
Right.
By the throat.
Yeah. As a Taurus, I know that you can't help yourself from being belligerent and...
What?
I mean,
What?
this is ingrained in
You
you,
do get belligerent.
from birth.
She's right.
So you would grab me by the throat, and how do you heal? Do you scream into my mouth, or
It's a chant, and it's paired with a neck roll, and you would practice it about 2 times a day for 2 months.
Oof, I don't have time.
It would be
I don't have time.
harm, and then you just do a neck roll. Harm.
So you grab me by the throat 5 minutes a day, and I scream harm as you're choking me.
I like that.
Yeah, you might pass out, but that's how you know it's really working.
That's how you know it's working, is if the person passes out on the street. One question I have, and what sign would you say is like the strongest? Like what sign do you feel like could like lift the most, and like the other signs would look at that sign and be like, wow, that sign is so strong and so powerful.
A lot of people, when they think of astrology, they think of the Leo. The Leo is the lion.
No, I'm that.
It is
wanna be
the
that.
animal. Yeah, but it's actually not the strongest of the zodiac signs. It's actually the Pisces. The dual fish is the strongest. As you know, fish can swim and they can breathe underwater, and lions can't. So you automatically know that there's an advantage over the lion, because those Pisces are actually lungfish, and they can support themselves in both water and land.
Okay.
So that is the strongest.
Well, how would you rate Capricorn? Because I'm definitely a Capricorn. I have deep connections. I feel like I have a deep spiritual connection with goats. I have a lot of goat paintings in my house.
You do?
I mean, pretty much just strictly goat paintings over my bed, in my living room. You open the door into the massive entryway, and it's just a gigantic photograph of a goat looking directly at you. Love them. How strong do you think that goat would be amongst those other animals?
You know what? The goat is about, honestly, medium to lower part of the totem pole.
Whoa,
It's
that's no
it's
good.
you know
that's
it's
not what
a
I
very
wanted to hear.
You could drown a goat. You could easily drown a goat.
Easily. Lungfish and both Leo can easily drown a goat. And I see it has a very prideful being of itself, and it's a guiding symbol, but really, I mean, who follows goats? Nobody.
I will say, though, like, there is a little bit of strength in a goat. I mean, I've kind of become a habit to sort of include a, sort of mascot-y goat around my office. And boy, do those goats kick hard when you approach them too quick, which I do. Almost daily, I try and get real close to those goats real fast, and they don't like that. I don't know if you've had a whole lot of experience with goats, but they go nuts in the office.
Well, I mean, you have that bust at your foyer of yourself with goat's horns.
I do.
Or ram's horn.
I do. Look,
It's a wonderful bust.
I'm not going to hide the fact that I love goats. I mean, they're a powerful animal that I deeply respect and fear.
One thing that's stronger than a goat is a bull. A Tauros would be stronger than a goat. And then a bull could smash a goat, I suppose, if he were so inclined. A bull could a goat when the goat would just be running atop a mountain, hiding from the bull on the plains, hiding and running up a mountain.
I don't think
but
that.
also,
I
I
think
don't want
so.
you guys to think that there's such a distance between both of you, because you're also linked to Uranus, the planet. Taurus and Capricorn are directly linked by Uranus. So I just don't want
So
you
what
guys
sort
to
of
get
powers do I have being a bull? What kind of
well-
powers can I harness? Yeah, I could run fast into things. If I were to run very, very fast into a goat.
Yeah, what's your
You're saying
opinion?
I
Do you
could
think a goat could take a bull?
Well, I think it depends
I think
on the
so.
situation.
I'm also a lion. I'm also a Leo.
You can't be both.
Are you on the Leo Taurus cusp?
Yeah, so I'm a bull and a lion. I could
No.
easily just ravage a goat.
No, that's cheating. You can't be both. You can only be one.
Heather,
You can't be a half bull, half lion. That's ridiculous.
Heather's an expert, and she says I'm on the cusp of I'm a bull and a lion.
Well, when is your birthday?
July 26th.
Yep, he's a cusp baby.
Right on the edge.
He's a mutant zodiac.
The only
sign.
thing that could probably beat a bull And a lion would be a fish, probably.
Lungfish.
Well, here's the thing.
actually.
I mean, I think you're immediately jumping to the conclusion that you get the strengths of both the bull and the lion. You might be getting the weaknesses of both of them. And that would be...
But they don't have any weaknesses, Bridge.
I mean, a bull, it sees red and it just goes
It gets
wherever...
stronger. And it gets stronger when it sees red.
Yeah, it gets stronger. Yes, I will give you that. But it gets confused. And a lion, its weakness is that it can't swim. So a goat, I feel like a goat would swim better than a lion.
I disagree. I don't think so. Moving on, Heather, you're a self-help author. You've written many books on the subject of health astrology. Mm-hmm. How are your sales?
I'm not sure. My Wi-Fi is a little shoddy up here in the Himalaya, so I'm not sure where my book sales are, but I did just release a new book. It's called Astrological, and it's released in every competent bookstore really near you, and it's going for $49.99, which is a steal.
$49.99.
You got a $50 book.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it is people might initially think that it's a little expensive, but really it's meant as a supplement to your already daily life. So like vitamins, you buy very expensive vitamins. This is the top of the line vitamin that you can buy to supplement for whatever disease you might have.
Yeah. Well, my disease is I can't swim very good. So I down some vitamins with some White Claw and I could swim better.
Let me tell you, this White Claw, I don't know who invented it, what shaman really cultivated this in what area of the world, but let me tell you, this is my third one, and I feel already extremely enlightened.
Heather, what are you? Are you the fish? Are you the fish sign? Is that what you are?
I'm actually one of the new signs. It's the 13th zodiac sign. It's Morpheus.
Oh, the god of dreams and nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
I know him well. I know him well.
You know your way around Morpheus.
He visits.
Wow,
he visits me on the daily, sometimes during naps.
Yeah, Dustin. He's been staying at my house for the past, I don't know, about year and a half. Unfortunately, yeah, he definitely wakes up every single night screaming. Screaming, Morpheus, Morpheus, please go away. It's quite something. So yeah, he's pretty familiar with that guy.
I feel bad because I wake Herbert up every night.
Herbert's there with you guys in the apartment too. Wow. I love it. It's like a commune.
He's always with me. He's my financial advisor, so he's my other arm.
Yeah, he really likes using the
Is he a Pisces by chance?
Herbert? I think he's an octopus.
It's pretty odd when he wakes up in the morning and starts screaming at me that he's the octopus. So yeah, I've kind of always just assumed that was a sign or something, hopefully. Otherwise, he's just screaming. This 91-year-old man is just screaming gibberish at me in my own kitchen. So yeah, hopefully that's his sign.
I get it.
Not to get too far off topic.
Not to get too far off topic on this business advice podcast, but yeah, so you're one of the new sign, Morpheus. Could you explain a little bit more about Morpheus? Because Dustin's interpretation of Morpheus has been pretty vague and pretty frightening. So I'd like to learn a little bit more about him.
Well, to Dustin's defense, it is a very frightening new zodiac sign. It replaced Pluto. It's now planet 9. They've made a discovery. Those astronomers, you can't trust them with everything, but when they find a new planet, it's true. It has thrown off the zodiac sign, so I've had to reevaluate. And what I've found is that there's a new zodiac sign that has to be really implemented into the whole cycle, and it is Morpheus. And he has come to me in a dream.
Oh, not fun. I had a dream actually the other night. Morpheus came to me. I was on the plains of the Himalayas. He came to me.
Interesting.
He had the head of a bull and the head of a lion in each of his hands. And he was presenting them to me, looking at me with his deep, dark eyes, presenting me with these severed animal heads. I didn't know what to think of that. But as he was giving them, he was saying, I'm disappointed in you, son. He said that over and over again. I don't know if that means anything. I was disappointed in you, my boy. My boy.
Yeah, it's been some pretty heavy stuff your dealings with Morpheus. I mean, when we asked you to draw a picture, you said it was impossible to draw Morpheus. He had the teeth of a deep sea fish and 1,000 legs, so you couldn't draw him.
Do you do dream analysis?
I do a little bit, and what I would interpret that is that you are leading, said zodiac signs. You're going to be a father to a group of people because you never experienced that. Is that correct?
I have 2 children in Tulsa.
But your father.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I'm not his son. He said that many times. Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, that directly translates into you wanting to lead a group of people because you yourself were directly abandoned.
Yeah, I don't know, Dustin. I think it might make sense to sort of, ingest this in little bites. There's some heavy baggage going on there that is obviously coming out in your dreams through this strange Morpheus figure. I don't know what the hell that's about. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that your father has the severed heads of your sign, I think it is quite a statement to how suppressed these things are. And maybe just think about it. Might be important for you.
I think that'll make it worse, frankly. I think it might be better to just only bring it up on the podcast. I kind of don't want to. The walls are closing in. I do want to talk about. You also are a dietitian as well. Bridge has some eating disorders.
They're not eating disorders.
They are.
I'm just trying to become stronger. I'm just trying to become stronger, and thus I'm cutting back on the calories. I could still probably lose about 50, 60 pounds. But it's just a desire for strength, which I honestly think I have.
That's your Capricorn talking, is you believing you had strength, but really you don't.
Well,
it's in the cards.
It's in the cards, and I think it's also, being that I am a Capricorn, I've been eating a lot of corn lately, like pretty much strictly corn. I wake up, have a couple cobs, lunch rolls around, probably 5 or 6 cobs. Dinner, I'd say about a 7 or 8 cob evening. Extra butter, lots of butter. I mean, that's what makes you strong, is the butter. And yeah, then I go to bed right after about 7 or 8 cobs. I mean, what's your opinion on that? I've really been leaning into this corn because I am a Capricorn. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, like the goats in my office, when I leave that corn out, those goats go nuts over that corn. So they obviously love the corn. So what do you think of that diet, just strictly corn?
As a business person, you know that I cannot reveal all my secrets on your podcast. So I think if you were to buy my book, you'd be able to see the other supplementary characteristics that you can add into your diet. That's actually something that I touch on, is the corn-fed diet for Capricorns, and I think that it's keep eating that corn, and maybe one day you'll be a Taurus, and you might be able to gain that muscular
strength
figure.
And muscular prowess that I have.
I don't think that's necessary. I think you two are completely underestimating the power of a goat. What do you think of the crab? There's one that's like a crab, right?
Cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Cancer. It's an unfortunate name, let me tell you, but yes, it's a strong zodiac sign.
Crabs are one of the strongest fish in the sea, I believe. You get clamped by a crab, they don't let go.
It's a fish with claws.
So a crab can't beat 2 fish?
No, the fish directly latch on to the crab and actually eat its exoskeleton until it's nothing but mush.
That is a startling vision. That sounds like one of Dustin's dreams, watching 2 fish devour a crab.
Here's hoping.
2 fish, 1 crab.
I'm looking these up, actually. There's a maiden. What's she up to? What's going on with her?
That is the merman.
Oh, it's a merman.
It's a merman.
That must be a terrifying existence, to be a merman in the sea where there's so many fish.
Especially with the crab-fish war, where crabs are being attacked by fish, and crabs are fighting back now.
They have a big problem with crabs, merman. We don't know why.
In what way could this relate to starting a business?
Bitcoin. You know what? Honestly, Bitcoin. I have found also being within the Himalayan mountains and reading the planets is that you invest the time to figure out what they relate to according to your bodily issues, and it'll help you recognize how to trade Bitcoin.
Wow.
We do have a Bitcoin expert on the slate here, so I am excited to learn a little bit more about cryptocurrency.
What kind of animal do you think would be best at trading Bitcoin? I bet I feel like a goat. I feel like you can see a goat just really being able to read those coins, right?
I mean...
Or a lion with their strong sight and their beautiful, luscious hair.
I don't know about that. Just call me crazy here, but I feel like a goat would be much more suited to be able to sort of climb the varying degrees of where Bitcoin goes up and down. Let's be honest, nothing goes up and down quite like a Himalayan goat.
This is true.
As I'm sure you've witnessed, they really know how to climb up those hills.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin, it fluctuates considerably, and goats are very well prepared for that.
That is something that I'm still meaning to explore, is which animal would be best suited. But right now, I think that, Capricorn and the goat has a leg up on Bitcoin trading.
Yes.
We'll give this one to you.
A lion.
Today, Brad.
Yeah, I think a lion would be terrible.
Or a bull.
Or a bull.
Well,
A bull would be even worse. But that's just my opinion.
Well, thank you so much, Heather, for coming in. Heather Molly. I think a lot of listeners are going to be checking out your $50 book.
I actually have a discount code for your listeners specifically to get a discount for $45.99, and if you use the code Heather Molly, you can make a steal on the book today, and it will supplement your life in ways that is unimaginable.
Well, thank you so much, Heather Molly. This has been Business Money Hacks. I'm Bridge Stewart.
I'm Dustin Taylor Hahn, and lions are stronger than goats.